sort of debt relief from commercial mortgage-backed security lenders on Wall Street. And now, with growing uncertainty whether there will be another round of federal aid before the end of the year, the association anticipates massive foreclosures. Consequently, this will be translated into more job losses. Research from Tourism Economics described that the leisure and hospitality industry used to account for 11% of pre-outbreak employment in America, but it generated 36% of the US job losses. Recovery prospects have been crushed with the postponement of stimulus talks, and owners disclosed to have no expectations of seeing significant improvements until at least 2023. Left without aid from Congress, 50% of all travel-supported jobs are on the hook and could be lost by the end of December. That's why hospitality and travel leaders have been pleading to the White House and Congress to urgently issue additional relief. It's time for our leaders in Washington to put politics aside and chart a bipartisan path forward to help businesses and employees in the hardest-hit industries, said Chip Rogers, President and CEO of the AHLA. Millions of jobs and the livelihoods of people who have built their small business for decades are just withering away because our leaders in Washington are prioritizing politics over people. America's hotel industry is on the brink of collapse. We can't afford to let thousands of small businesses die and all of the jobs associated with them be lost for many years. Unfortunately, it seems that their requests will remain unanswered for now. In September, the AHLA informed that 68% of hotels were already operating with less than half of their normal staff working full-time. Additionally, more than two-thirds of hoteliers revealed that they wouldn't be able to last 6 more months at the projected revenue and occupancy levels, and without federal assistance. 74% of hotels said they would be forced to lay off more employees. From then to now, things only got worse for the hotel sector. But with all things considered, the CMBX S9 BBB could potentially be the most profitable institutionally sized short in recent history, even despite the Fed's policies that have been effectively making shorting impossible. Last Thursday, the Financial Times published some shocking updates on New York City's hotel industry conditions. Currently, 4 out of 5 properties underpinning commercial mortgage bonds are on the brink of default. Once celebrated for having one of the most vibrant global hotel markets, New York's travel and tourism have been completely smashed by the outbreak's restrictions, severely depressing the sector's cash flows. The effects have resonated into financial markets and hit the almost $4 billion in hotel mortgages of New York that are bundled into commercial mortgage-backed securities exceptionally hard. The health crisis also brought to the surface the consequences of years of overbuilding and provoked a glut of vacant hotel rooms. And while the prospect for a vaccine might offer a glimpse of hope, it is unlikely to arrive anytime soon and help to avoid a gloomy winter for hotel owners and the investors that lent them money. According to the chief executive of the Hotel Association of New York, Vijay Dandapani, if only half the city's 640 hotels survive, it would already be a great outcome, which illustrates how bad the industry is hurting. Although occupancy rates have rebounded from their lowest point in April, when occupancy was down more than 60% on year, they are still 20% lower than for the same time last year, indicating much of the debt backing the properties will be impaired. This week, the state started imposing a new round of strict lockdowns, and needless to say that local businesses and, of course, the hotel industry will face more challenges to stay afloat. Dandapani affirmed that even in a best-case scenario in which a vaccine would be authorized, nothing would induce a sudden improvement of the sector this year, and possibly only by 2021, with the return of some tourism-related business the industry would regain traction. But it's fickle, he said. Realistically, we aren't going to see any improvement until the second quarter. The industry is really bleeding. It's not just on life support. It's comatose, he added. On the same note, CRE TREP consultants